Welcome back to Brick System Brothers, guys. My name's Nathan, and it's time to score another pick-a-brick wall. These are actually known as pick and build walls officially, and I might be referring to fan favorites, so if that comes up, I'll let you know what you need to do if you haven't heard of fan favorites. But today I'm just going to look at the Pentagon City wall from Virginia as posted in this Facebook group that I'm in. It's pretty easy to find if you're on Facebook. It's pick-a-brick wall, something like that. I can put a link in the description. Why not? I'll put that down there. So this particular wall looks like we've got 52 elements to choose from, and this is current as of the 7th of November, so about a week old. That's probably still somewhat accurate, but for the people watching this months, years down the road, just for the fun of me scoring it, probably doesn't look like that right now. But yeah, let's do a little bit of a review here. I've done one of these videos before. I scored 2 stores back in September, and then I was going to come back to it. All through October we were doing other stuff, so yeah, I figured I would revisit this topic. Basically what I'm going to do, and it's a little subjective, but there's a score out of 100, and it's based on 5 different categories. Category 1 is presentation, worth 10 points. So presentation is pretty important in our current situation at the Lego stores because you have to be able to let the employees know kind of what you want them to pick for you. Currently, I don't think there's any stores in the US that you can go in and pick these yourself, put them in a cup. Like we used to be able to go in and you pick your own pieces. So you could walk in and get one of these, and then everything else in the cup could be a different one. I think they're limiting things to half scoops and quarter scoops. So it's a complex system, varies store to store, but presentation is important for that. So 10 points, presentation. Variety is worth 40 points. So variety, kind of an important topic to me because if you're going to go to a Lego store to do the pick-a-brick, you don't want to just have a wall of plates. You want to have a good mix of elements. And colors plays into that as well, but I decided to make colors its own category. So that's after variety. Colors is worth 15 points as a category. Are we getting new colors? Are we getting a good range of colors? How many different elements are represented in each color? So that's something to look at. The interesting one that I haven't seen talked a lot when people talk about the pick-a-brick wall is the pairs of elements. So if you have something that's like a right-handed and a left-handed element where we've got a certain type of slope that goes off one direction or the other, or even something like a door in a frame, you would kind of want to see where you have both pairs of those elements in the same store, or there's a little bit of an imbalance. So pairs are worth 15 points if they're present. If they're not present, I'm actually going to be taking off points because I feel like if you go to a store and you want to get a door and a frame, but they just have the door, that actually has a negative experience overall. And for the remaining 20 points, there is a category that I'm calling the chaser factor. Basically, the idea behind the chaser brick is what piece in the store is going to make me go out of my way to drive to the store to get that piece. Kind of the catalyst, if you will, of like, all right, I'm going to the store specifically because I want this piece, but I'm also going to get these because they're there. So the chaser might be a crystal. There was a nice trans red crystal at the Mall of America store where I ended up going last year. It was actually almost exactly a year ago now. Chaser could be a nice gold element because we don't get gold too often, and every once in a while we get some gold showing up at the pick-a-brick wall. It could be like a glass window, something you would use a lot of and kind of pricey on Bricklink, so definitely would want to pick that up at the pick-a-brick wall if that was present there. So that's kind of the scoring system. We'll keep that in mind. I'll be writing it down on my little note card here and then adding it up at the end. And we're just going to do one store in this video. So Pentagon City, Virginia, from last week. Here we go. So let's start with presentation category. 10 points here. What do we got? Clearly labeled which pieces are in which section. So the little number here is stuck with some label tape onto these blue slopes. So we've got that consistency all the way throughout. And yeah, I feel like that's pretty well done. Category-wise organization, there's kind of this group of plates right here. Some other ones spread out, but most of those are together. And then a couple larger elements, so we're not really wasting any room where we have kind of these 4 or 5 larger pieces. And smaller ones here, and then just one actually has that grouping mixed down here in cup number 48, compartment 48. So presentation is pretty good. I can tell what all the pieces are, so there's nothing obstructed here. You got a clear shot of everything and tell all the colors. So yeah, I can't really find any faults with this. I think, the tape, maybe 1 point off for the tape being a little bit, if I'm going to be nitpicky. I'll just give it 10 points. It's only 10 points. All right, variety here, worth 40 points for this store. It's going to be a little bit lower than the baseline, or maybe than average, just because we are maxing out at 52 elements here. So that's a pretty good amount, but there's definitely larger stores that have more, that can score higher on variety. So just by being kind of a smaller store, we're going to lose some points. It does seem like we got several plates here. Maybe didn't need quite that many. Every time I see this plate, I wonder why. Why is this here? How many do people buy this plate in Pick-a-Brick walls? I feel like they got maybe one big shipment of these, and no one buys them, so they just sit there and accumulate, and they never get it. They never get rid of it, and so every time I see it on the wall, I don't understand why that's there. It could be, anyways. I'd rather see a profile brick, I guess. Variety-wise, colors. Well, colors is the next category. Specifically looking at piece types, there's not too much to complain about, I guess. I don't know. There's nothing spectacular here. But for snot bricks, like studs not on top building, basically that's all you get right here in compartment 9. Transparent, yeah, there's a couple window elements in one of these doors, arches. Out of 40 points, I'm going to have to give this maybe 25. There's not a whole lot here drawing me out. For colors, we're 15 points. It's okay. The transparent ones, these are good. These window pieces here. The trans blue tile is a good tile to have, and then some of our other transparent pieces here. And I scored 1 by 1 round, so we've got at least 2 golds here. And then this is our bright light orange, so that is I guess it's not a really recent color, but I like it. I think it is a good complement to a lot of other colors in the LEGO palette. And then some of our classic window and that arch are in white, so those are good to get. But not really anything in our teal or revived teal. So that's a color I kind of look out for. And dark orange, I kind of look out for that one as well. And I don't even see any dark red on the wall. So colors maybe a little bit below where I'd want to see it, but I think I'm going to give it 9 points out of 15. Okay, the pairs category, worth 15 points and worth negative points if there aren't matched pairs. The one that does stand out right away is the door and the door frame, so we do have both of those here. What I don't know is, are there too many doors and not enough door frames at this store? Because I don't know. I can't go look in the compartments and say, oh yeah, there's plenty of yellow doors left, but there's only a couple frames. Because if people are buying more frames, then that's going to end up with an imbalance, and then you get back to the same point you were before with, an unmatched pair. I have to assume, I can only see the menu here, so let's just assume they're complete. So that's worth 4 points. Are there any other pairs to add up here? I'm not really seeing any. That one is reversible, so it's symmetric. You can flip it either way. The flowers would be nice to have, maybe a companion part with that, like the flower stem, but probably not necessary at the end of the day. And then this one I think pairs up with a 4x4 hinge base, but it's not crucial to the functionality of the part. You can still use that as a round brick. So pairs, there's just the one, but there aren't any unmatched, so I guess it's full 15 points. And the last one is the chaser category. The only chaser that really stands out as soon as I look at the board is this 1x2 dark blue plate. I know people like to just scoop those up and get full cups of those for when they're building water environments. So you can tile a base plate with those and have kind of this water effect. It works really well if you're going over a plain blue base plate, 32x32 studs. And it's pretty uniform. and it does give you a smooth surface. So personally, I don't like building water like that. I think it's too part intensive, and I don't want to dump thousands of pieces into just creating a surface for water. I think our blue base plates do good enough in that regard, but it is a valuable piece to a lot of builders and a lot of people who do those large scale projects. So I don't want to discredit that. And I'm not gonna lie, if I went to the store, I'd get several of those. Clear tiles are nice to have. The lightsaber was another one that showed up last time I did this game. Same thing here. I'm not gonna go out of my way just to get the lightsaber, but since I would be there hypothetically anyway, I would probably throw 20, 30 in my cup if I had room. The flame elements could be kind of a chaser, especially since we have both kinds here. We've got the tall, older style flame and the newer style flame as well, so that's kind of interesting. The small corner pizza tile, I guess you could call it. Now I see. The number 40 compartment leaf 2x2 kind of decorative leaf plate. This was featured in our HuTap, and I would consider this a chaser element for sure. Definitely would want to load up on these at a Lego store. You'd be able to build some pretty detailed tree designs with this, or just scatter them out on the ground. You can make a bunch of different plant designs. It's a pretty recent piece. It's only a couple years old, but it's already been used in a very wide variety of Lego sets and colors. So that says something about its versatility, I think, and I think that would make a good chaser element. So our tile combined with the leaf and the fire and the 1x1 in gold and the 1x4 arch, I'll go ahead. We'll say that those are all kind of like a sub chaser, and then if you add them all together, that makes the store worth going to, I think, at the end of the day. So chaser, 20-point category, I'm going to give it 18. Just for the fact that we're kind of having to build up the inventory by collecting several different parts instead of just having one really highly desirable part. And that's subjective. Like, maybe you guys really want this 2x2 purple dome. That's your chaser. If that's you, that's great. Like, go get your chaser, but it's not me. So let's add these up. We've got full points from presentation, 25 from variety, 9 from colors, 15 from the pairs, and 18 from the chaser. So we've got 35 there. Another 15 is 50. Plus 18 is 68. Plus 9 is 77 points out of 100. That was a kind of a higher scoring board than I expected to see from this. Just a first glance, I thought this would be a little lower, but 77 points out of 100 is not bad for the Pentagon City store, especially considering there's only 52 slots here to choose from. I think that says the store is using those slots wisely. Personally, I'd like to see a few less plates. Go ahead and put that profile brick on there. I know it's not going to stick around very long, but just please carry more of these masonry bricks, Lego. Put them in every store. I wouldn't mind it. Leaf plates. So yeah, go take a look at the fan favorite video I posted, where people were actually able to partake in a survey about what pieces do you want to see on the Pick-a-Brick wall. There was a response. Lego collected the data, or some organization working with Lego collected the data and made this report. There's a combination of 10 elements and 10 colors that are now certified as fan favorites from 2017. So that's worth taking a look at. And this leaf plate wasn't actually in production at the time of the survey. It might be now, and it's definitely a piece that I've noticed is showing up on a lot of Lego store walls. So maybe they're kind of updating that fan favorite thing in a less informal way and kind of keeping that going to decide, we have this many slots that we could fill from a fan favorite. The rest of these we're going to determine from company level, but we've got these 5 or 10 compartments that were there is a little bit of influence from the community. Like, if you get to know the employees at your local Lego store, people actually comment this on here on this Facebook group. Like, if you get to know the employees, you can have a little bit of sway in what actually gets ordered to show up on the Pick-a-Brick wall. And I don't think not even the employees get full control over all the pieces, but I think there's there's measures in place that ensure, there's some feedback coming in from the fans. What do they want to see on the wall? Because at the end of the day, this is really fan service at its finest from LEGO, selling their individual pieces kind of tailored to what people want to see on a pick-a-brick wall to have these individual pieces. They want to stock pieces that get bought, of course. That's a business model. You want to have that going, but that's it for today. We will rate more of these stores, a couple more this year, and into 2021 is the plan. But check out this Facebook group if you want to know what's on your local pick-a-brick wall without actually driving there. Chances are someone has been there recently and put a picture on. You can learn something from that. So at least you can sit here and score it like I do. That's it, guys. We'll see you around. Time to do some bingo, guys. Today's first pick, 614, 6484. A lot of fours. We're up to pick number 13, if you've been keeping count. And that is going to be a purple fabric cloth element. Yep, even these get their own element IDs. Talked a lot about all of this a lot in the introduction to this game, so if you're not familiar with what we're doing here, I'd recommend you to go back and watch how we got this all started. But color is going to be pretty slim here. I don't think it really fits in with any of the categories that I've got on any of the 3 cards, so pick one is a miss. We're moving on to 600, 3163. Try and get this moving along. Printed head, that's a good sign. To pick 14. Okay, bring that in. Now, does this fit somewhere? I'd argue that it's a tan color, even though this is technically flesh. This is the official LEGO color name. We'll put it in tan. So I want to get these filled up and get you guys a shout out. We're not really close to any bingos right now, but you got to do a little bit at a time. Yep, so that's kind of the only place that can go, I think. Whoops. This needs to go in minifig. Ooh, that was close. Last pick for today, 622 3436. Back to Rebrickable. Another head, not bad. This is a recent head here, that kind of happy face. Pick 15. 2 heads in a row. What are the odds of that? Actually, I have all the numbers, so I could probably calculate it. Yellow, minifig. What do you know, guys? We got 2 hits right there for you. Sweet. Okay, primary, it also fits there. It's a yellow. But I don't think this is a rare. This doesn't qualify as rare. It's in 1 set? Oh, maybe it is. What set is this in? Now I'm curious. Oh, it's the collectible minifigs. Okay. So looks like we get to do that. Filling it in, guys. 2 cards with 1 piece. Not bad. Alright, that is all for bingo today. Pretty successful round of picks, and we will see you next time.